What the heck did we get ourselves into? What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. As you see right here, we're back to working on the 2017 ZL1 Camaro. We've been collecting parts for it. We've got some parts right here, other parts we haven't gotten yet. But let's go ahead and open these boxes up and see what we got.
This is our thing for under the hood.
Yeah, that goes under the hood.
This is the cool one. Hopefully
We need a razor blade. You got a blade or a knife?
Look at that.
She's supposed to have a little damage somewhere.
There's a little nick here, a little nick there. Next up, we got it. Washer jug? Yeah. I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is. This goes to the hood, maybe?
They might.
We got
Cool
this box, the hood piece, and this box all from the same place. So this might be a piece of the hood.
We've had this stuff for a couple days and I feel like we forgot what it was for the hood.
Oh, hood bolts.
Nothing else in there.
That's it. Did we get the overflow? Oh yeah, it's right there. Nope, it's the wrong color. Notice when we were putting the car on the lift that this side skirt was broken right here. I actually pulled it back to mess with the fender, but broken there and there. So we ordered the complete side skirt for it.
GM bumper. One of the few parts we could actually get from them.
GM, yeah, they actually went on a search to find this for us.
Where does this come from? What, California or something like that?
I think so. We're gonna leave that packaged up. This right here is an important piece and heavy.
The biggest pain of them all, the
Yeah.
chassis wiring harness.
This is not gonna be fun. Pull it out.
Oops. Probably not any good anymore.
Should have the fuse box on it.
Box is right here. Alright, so we've got the chassis harness laid out, and it's massive, about as big as the garage. And we're going through everything, and we think we're
Close to how it's gonna sit in the car.
yeah. And the dash over here comes through the firewall into the fuse box, and goes all the way to the back. Just to get an idea of what we're getting ourselves into before we actually tackle it. I now understand why this package weighs 69 pounds.
Yep, there's a lot of
That's a lot of stuff.
there's a lot of wire. I mean, obviously right here you got your battery cable. What do you think, Cap? You gonna put this in for us? She don't care. She kills mice and then hides them from us so it stinks in here. So she ain't gonna do this. All right, guys, this
Most important
is the most important one. We ordered this from the GM dealer and they told us could be in 2 weeks, could be in a year. There was no time frame when they could get this to us, but this is the engine wiring harness. Now we learned 2017 is its own harness. You can't use an 18 or a 19. But yeah, this is very important. I made posts online looking for a used one, couldn't find one. We actually, about 3 days ago, we ordered an automatic harness that had some damage. We were gonna pretty much build a harness, but this thing showed up today, so that's gonna be a big help getting this thing back together. All right, guys, we got this thing pushed over here. We got it off the lift because it's always nice to have an open lift. Never know when you got to work on something. We've got the front end set on jack stands. No, they're not Harbor Freight jack stands. And it'll just make it easy to work on this thing. And not being on the lift, we can open the doors all the way. We've got to pull the interior out, pull the dash out, which isn't going to be a fun job, but we'll get to it. We'll get her done. Gotta rip all this. This is all stuff that come off the engine when we pulled the engine. That's the factory harness that got burned up. But we ended up pushing the engine back here, which isn't a good sign because this is like the graveyard when stuff gets put back here. Sometimes it doesn't come back out, but engine and tranny sitting right there. Hopefully here pretty soon, once we get this wiring done, we'll get that put back in. So we're gonna start working on this thing and getting the interior out. Well guys, we interrupt this program to bring you some breaking news. So, the driver of this thing was a midget. Can I say a midget on YouTube? They're like saying retard. I said retard already. So the driver of this thing was 4'11", and the seat was real far forward, so we could get to these bolts without having the battery or anything hooked up. That seat is way far back in normal 6-foot person position, so we can't get to the rear bolts. It's got 2 rear bolts here, and then it just slides out of the front, out of those things right there. Well, as we found out looking at our new harness, the seats fuses are in the engine compartment fuse box. So now we've got to figure out how to move this seat, or how to actually get power to the seat to move it to get the rear bolts out. We've got the battery charger hooked up, or the jump box hooked up, but it's not doing anything because we have no front fuse box. We've got radio, we've got HVAC, we've got windows, anything we ever want, but of course the front seat fuses are in the front fuse box. So this one's gonna stump us for a little bit, and once we figure out how to do it, we'll let you guys know, and we'll get back to tearing this interior out.
Well, it moves up.
Yeah, see, I can't stick those paper clips in there like we got to do it exactly like how we said on that. Because even though it's got 2 wires going to it, for some reason we got to trigger those other terminals. So that one's up. That gives us
definitely don't make it
man.
easy. Hey.
Miles of room. Was that enough to get the bolt? I think the frame's still over.
Yeah, we still got to go forward.
Well, I got miles. Where's my negative cable? Where's my positive? Oh yeah. You ready?
Yep. That's what we like to see.
Turn my arm over.
Finally got it forward.
Ooh.
We got enough room. We got enough room. We got enough room. Yep.
Oh, you grabbed my
Sweet.
light. I thought I turned it.
All right, it's been a couple of days. We're back here at the barn. We're gonna start working on this thing again. Finish ripping out the chassis harness, getting the rest of the interior out. We've got a few new parts in that came in today that we'll show you a little bit later. We're gonna get to work and probably get this thing done today. At least everything pulled out of it, but we'll see how much progress we make.
All right, guys, we've got the seats and carpet out. It's kind of hard to see with our light back there, but this is easy stuff for us. This is stuff we've done when we do flood cars, pull carpets, get them to dry and everything. But the most difficult part, and the part that we've both been dreading, is pulling this dash out. We've had the windshield removed. The next step is just ripping this thing apart and pulling it off piece by piece, and then hopefully we won't have to remove. See, it's got the actual dash part where it's metal. We might not have to remove that to get to all the plugs and everything, but we're gonna get back to work. All right, guys, as you can see, we've been stripping this thing pretty much to nothing. We ended up taking the doors off because there is a bolt. Oh, Ryan's already got this side out. But you see right there,
Here.
the bolt goes through and right there, yeah. And there's one up there and you can't get to it because the door and the fender are on. And then one thing we just learned is we caused ourselves a bunch of work because the dash harness actually plugs in right there. Same on the other side. So we could have pulled all the wires off with this piece all together. But instead we fished all the wires out and did it the hard way like we do everything. But this side, the same thing. Inside these two plugs is where those bolts are that go to this dash. And the whole reason we're pulling the dash, this metal piece of the dash out, is, if you can see it down there, there is one wire, that wire that's got the orange tape on it. That wire, or that bulk of wires, goes behind the heater box. I don't know why they couldn't run it up here in front of the heater box and we could just get it out, but no, they put it behind the heater box. So we're gonna pull that out, and that's pretty much it. We're gonna have the harness out, because up here it's just this power cable right there, and then that's where the bulk of the harness goes that got melted, and then in through the back. Do we have to pull the rear bumper off?
Yep.
Oh, we gotta pull the rear bumper off. Forgot about that. Because the taillight plugs go, is that taillight? No, that's bumper sensors?
Parking sensors, and is that the reverse light, I think?
Yeah, I think so. So yeah, we've got to pull the rear bumper off, and then that's gonna be pretty much it, because all these wires are loose. They'll pull right through there. All the wires will come up into the middle part of the car, and then we can pull the whole harness out. So we're gonna continue on this dash. Expecting to come in. All right, guys, there she is. That's what we've been working all night on. Ryan looks like he's wore out.
Tore it all out because of these crusty little things.
Yeah, tore it all out. Removed hundreds and hundreds of wires for probably 70 wires. Could have spliced it in there. We got suggested by multiple people to splice it in there, but as soon as you do something like that on the internet and you get all the professionals telling you what you should and shouldn't do, and yeah, but we actually have spliced a harness. I had a ZL1 that we spliced the harness right there, right through the firewall, so we didn't have to replace the whole harness. Another ZL1, it was a 5th gen ZL1. But anyways, we've got this thing pretty stripped. I mean, that's
not a lot of parts left on.
Yeah, usually we part them out and we pull them like this and push them around with the forklift, shove them outside, and we're done with them. But this one we actually got to put back together. And if you've caught on, what are we, Ryan? What are we not good at?
Putting stuff back together?
Putting stuff back together. So we've got almost all the harness. We did not pull the headliner yet. We've got wires running up each of the rear pillars, C-pillars, I guess you would call them. We've got to pull the headliner, take those wires up, and then we've actually got to slide this thing over, put it on the lift, because there are wires you can't see. I think we might have showed you this earlier, but there are wires that go down through. They go to suspension modules, rear differential modules, and all sorts of stuff underneath, fuel tank and all that. So gonna put it on the lift. Hopefully we don't have to pull the rear subframe and differential to get all those wires out. If we do, just a little bit of a minor setback. But we're trying to have this thing done in exactly a week and a day.
Almost a week and a half, I think, because we have to leave Thursday morning of next week.
Yeah, so we're trying to take this thing drag racing next week. I don't know when this video is actually going to make it out. Should be, you know, in a few days. But we're going to try to do a few more videos of this thing. Actually take it to the track and see what it'll run. I mean, I think, what are you thinking? 1050?
I'd be happy with 1099.
It'll go faster than that. Have these tires on. We've got a set of 15s and a 15-inch conversion on my car over in the other garage. We might pull that off, but I don't know. Depends on how far we get. We might end up just taking it on these 20s. Well, I have another set of 20s that have some actual drag radials on them. 20-inch Mickey Thompsons, and my car's been 950s on, so that should be good enough for this thing. But all right, well, I think that's gonna wrap it up for this video. So if you liked it, give us a like, give us a comment, let us know what you guys think. Subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you guys on the next one.